Alright guys, in the previous video that we did this before, talking about just changing up your training routine and specifically your targets and putting some kind of garment over that cardboard or over that paper can help you focus more on the front sight versus just seeing where on the paper or on the cardboard target you hit. In a fight, they're dynamic, and you have no idea whether you're going to see any of those hits happening. The people that I know who've been in fights, combat vets, law enforcement officers, all say the same thing. They said you absolutely cannot tell until that person stops fighting that that threat has been neutralized. So again, we are about 5 yards from our target, and I'm going to do the same thing. In this case, we have a USPA or IPSC target, I can't remember what, with the A zone. And what we're going to do is we're just going to do some of those press drills, upload press. I've got a shirt out there, and I'm actually going to use the bottom button, a little lower than the bottom button, as my aiming point. So guys, what I'm doing here is I am training myself on any target that I see is to psychologically imagine that there's a button, and if I have an aiming point, it's easier for me to get hits on target. Aim small, hit small. If you've got a big target out there and nowhere to specifically aim, you can tend to really have your groups and your shots go all over the place. All right, enough of me talking. Let's show you how this deal works here. So the exact same thing I was doing before. I'm working a presentation, and I'm just going to come out and shoot. Now I can't tell where these hits are. I'm seeing the front sight, and then I'm working the... So, for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm not moving just because I've got a fixed camera out there. I know a bunch of people are going to say, yeah, but you got to move. Absolutely, you have to move. I would not be standing here just static like this. I'm doing it for the purpose of the demonstration. So again, as soon as I see that front sight, press. As soon as I see the front sight, I'm just going to go ahead and start working the trigger. All right, what we're going to do now is we're going to turn the camera around, actually walk to the back of the target with the camera and show you guys where the hits are. So again, guys, this is the A zone of this target. So in that series of presentations that I did, I don't know, 4 or 5 presentations. I did some with single shot, some with 2, some with the burst of fire. But you can see from 5 yards, these are all combat effective in the upper chest. And again, can I tell where I'm hitting from the other side? I can't, because I'm not looking at the cardboard. What I'm working on is my front sight, and as soon as I drive my front sight back to where that button is, where I'm aiming, I'm pressing a shot. So guys, this is a super simple thing that you can do that can really up your game in terms of the way that you respond on demand under pressure making hits. The next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to take the shirt and put it on a steel target and demonstrate the same thing. Now, but I want you to see that the process is exactly the same, and that you can see I'm still trying to be accurate. I'm not just throwing rounds down range. I'm trying to get specific hits on the target. All right, let's do that right now. And you can see now why the problem of steel is that shirt's starting to get fried pretty badly. So if I keep shooting at it, at some point, right, you can see the shirt's just getting shredded. So what? That's okay. It's just a training aid. So guys, the bottom line is, if you want to improve your front sight focus and add a little more realism to your training for your personal protection or defensive pistol training, I would strongly suggest you just take a towel, take an old shirt, put it up there, some Christmas, sweater that someone gives you that you can't stand. Good use for that Christmas sweater. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching this and for subscribing to the channel and watching all of our videos. A lot of great comments and suggestions and feedback from our subscribers. We really appreciate that. I do try to respond as much as I possibly can. If I don't respond to you, I do apologize. We are trying very hard to respond to everybody who writes in. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, stay safe.